Hi everyone, I am on a roll today, so I wanted to make a really quick kind of video. Following my last video about high school, I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about college, and I want to make a longer video about this because it's a topic that's near and dear to my heart. But I thought I'd make a really quick video, just going over the basics of, especially your freshman year of high school, or sorry, college. Um, I graduated from college 2 years ago, and I can honestly say that there is not a single day that goes by that I don't miss it and wish I was back. I didn't like high school, but college for me, they were the best years of my life. They were the years that really mattered to me and really formed who I am as a human being and as a psych major and, kind of everything. So I wanted to talk again, I want to go into this a little bit more, but I wanted to right now just talk about freshman year and especially like the beginning of your freshman year and, what kind of like what you guys should do and expect. In high school, I had advice because my high school experience sucked, so I made the video about what I would want people to have said to me before I went into high school. This one, because I had such an amazing college experience, I'm going to be talking instead not a video of what I wish somebody had told me before I went into college, but more so what I want to share with other people because I really had the best college experience that anybody could really have. I'm not going to lie. So I will. Oh my gosh, I need to like get like a platform and just put the camera on there because this is bobbling up and down and getting annoying. So, college. I will be honest with you. I was coming off of a really, really, really bad senior year of high school. And I was honestly not sure what college was going to be like. And I was really scared to go off. And I thought I would miss my high school friends and my family. And of course, I love them. But honestly, once I got off to college, I was happy. And I'm going to make this video because I want people to have just a similar the kind of college experience that I had. So let me try to give some kind of advice to you guys. Where can I start? I think it's really, really important that you guys, get involved right away. That's what I did. In high school, I was not involved in like a single club or activity. In college, I was literally involved in everything. My freshman year was literally that was kind of like the starting out year. It was my very first year. I was just trying to like kind of put my feet in the water. And that's another thing about your freshman year is it's, if you don't get the Dean Scholar Award your freshman year, that's okay. You're just a freshman. If you don't know what you want to do, it's okay. You're just a freshman. If you're not the most popular person on campus, it's okay. You're just a freshman. So it's really important that you guys understand that if you are having like a sucky freshman year, it doesn't have to stay that way. It can get better. For me, I was lucky. Like kind of like the whole 4 years, I was really, really happy, and I had a really, really, really good experience the entire time I was there. I was just one of the luckier ones, I guess. So I'm gonna try to teach you guys how to have a happy year. I think there's a lot of things that I can't teach you. I think sometimes it's personality differences. For me, I think the college life is just the life for me. Sometimes it's not for everybody. A lot of people, I can, I'm trying to. I have so many like things I want to say that I want to say them all at once, and it's not working out for me. Let me just breathe start again and try to get through this. And I just get excited about certain things, and college is one of them because I love talking about it. Um, so it's your freshman year. Maybe you just moved into a dorm. I was actually a student ambassador at my university for a few years, and something that I always would kind of suggest to people who are coming to our school would be if you can live on campus. And living on campus isn't for everybody. And I get sometimes the price is just not worth it, especially if you live like down the street or you live like 15 minutes away. And if you live like 10 minutes away from school and you really get along with your family and you are comfortable at home and you love it there and you don't want to leave, then okay, by all means commute. But I think this isn't speaking for everybody, but for me personally, if I had gone to a college near home and stayed at home, I would have missed out a lot on the college experience. And again, I'm not talking about everybody. Sometimes commuting works for people, and that's fine. You kind of you have to. I think the big thing is you kind of know what you need. I think by that age, you kind of know what's going to work for you and what doesn't work for you. And if you really feel like commuting is going to be your thing, then by all means, definitely commute. But I think my advice would be, if you have the opportunity to live off campus, seize it. Even if you're scared, even if you're afraid to leave home, or you're afraid you're not going to make any friends, or you're just scared in general to leave home. I would suggest to give it a shot, because if you live on campus and you freaking hate it and you want to get out of there, you can, either move back home or transfer schools to somewhere closer. You always have the ability to transfer. It's easier said than done, but you do have the ability. And I think a lot of people, they choose a school because they think, oh, it's a party school, or ooh, boys are hot, or the girls are hot, or like stupid reasons, or like, like, oh, I want to be in a sorority and this has like a good sorority and this and that. So I think that people sometimes choose their schools for the wrong reasons. And I would suggest that you be careful when you choose your school. I think sometimes, like for me, my intuition kind of just told me like the right school. I was actually already signed up and registered for classes at another university, and I, at the kind of the last minute, decided, I didn't like the area that the university was in. I wasn't feeling it. I just didn't have a good feeling about it. I just had a better feeling about my school. And I went to Georgia Court University, and I could just, I want to brag about it and tell you guys a million reasons that you should go to that school, but I'm not going to do that. It's like soliciting, and probably not a good idea right now on YouTube. But I really, really, really loved my school. When I went, it was an all-girls school, and you know what? That kind of took a lot of the pressure away, because people were a lot less catty. And I mean, there were guys on campus, they just couldn't live on campus. So I mean, I did have guy friends. It's not like I didn't have any guy friends, but um, it's it was a really, really good atmosphere. What else can I tell you? If you are going into your freshman year, like I said, it's important that you kind of get involved. Like I said, I would suggest living on campus just so you get the experience. I mean, there's really not a better feeling than being away from home and feeling independent, but you're not completely on your own. You know what I mean? Like, you're away, you're in your dorm with your friends, and you feel like you're an adult, like, like you have everything together and you're away from home and stuff like that. You feel that way. But you're not really completely on your own yet. You still have the benefit of having, RAs and, people, adults kind of watching out for you, even if you don't think that they do, think that they are. And you also have not everybody, but a lot of you guys don't have to pay an enormous amount of bills in college. I didn't. I had my phone bill, and I worked. I think I worked at Kohl's for a little bit, just to have some extra cash, pay my phone bill, and that was kind of all I needed to do. And then I worked for a long time at my school's phone-a-thon for donations, and at the admissions office being an assistant and also giving tours to prospective students. And I loved it. Um, but so my like big word of advice would be to get involved your freshman year. And I think a big part of college, I'm not going to lie, in high school I kind of just said, be yourself. And no, in college, definitely be yourself. But it's really important, I think, in college that you really try to put yourself out there, because I hear so many sad cases about, these college kids who they're not used to being away from home for the first time. They're homesick, and they're not really making any friends, and they're just not doing well. And I got lucky. That was more me in high school. By the time I got to college, I just kind of had a streak of luck, and I kind of just things just kind of worked out for me. I just kind of naturally fit in. I made good best friends like the first day I was there. I love my roommate, and we kind of bonded with a bunch of other girls, and it was great. But not everybody was as lucky as I got with college, and I think it's important that to find your niche, join clubs and activities. And I think I had the benefit. I was in, a relationship the entire time I was in college, and we both had mutual friends, and it was easier for us to kind of mingle with other people because everybody knew the two of us, and it was that's kind of like the way that it was. So that was also like a benefit that I had. A big thing is in college is party, don't overdo it. I got so much out of college, and I did not party. My freshman year, I'm not gonna lie, I of course went to a couple of bashes and got a little wasted, just like everybody else. And I mean, I wasn't really goody two shoes in college, but for the most part, especially after freshman year, I really buckled down, and I was involved I was accepted into 4 honor societies. I was Dean Scholar almost every semester. I graduated cum laude. I was involved in so many activities. I did cheerleading my freshman year and international cultures. I was, the president of clubs, lots of clubs. I was the president of the psychology club. Um, I was involved in clubs, just a bunch of clubs that it would take me literally all day to name them. So I really enjoyed being an officer of clubs because when you're an officer, you do have a lot of responsibilities, but people look up to you, they respect you, and you really get to know people that are in the club with you, and you just really get to know the people on your campus. So I think for me, it was well worth it. It was well worth, the academics challenges and struggles that I had. It was really, really worth it. So I would suggest to you guys to don't be afraid to work hard. College is the time that you want to work hard. And I honestly, like I said, I didn't really party that much. I worked really hard. I mean, I got almost straight A's pretty much, not freshman year. I got a C in math because I just didn't like math. I didn't study. And my dumbass managed to get a C in freshman seminar. The only thing I had to do to get an A was show up. But God forbid, it was at 9 a.m. and that was too early for me, so I wasn't going to get out of bed to go to my class. Don't make that mistake. Show up for class, because that's an easy way to get a good grade. It's just show up for the damn class. I don't care how early it is. Get a decent night's sleep and go to class, and that's the best thing that you can do. So that's my suggestion. And even though I didn't party a lot, I loved being stimulated by the intellectual knowledge that was handed to me from literature. Literature was my favorite subject. Psychology, which also my favorite subject. I was a psych major. And even classes I didn't really like so much, like religion and chemistry. I didn't really like those classes, but I learned new things from them, and I got something out of every class that I was involved in, and it was really helpful. It was really good for me to, be intellectually stimulated and gain, all this knowledge, and it helped me to grow as a person, and it really, it was just really good for me. And I would suggest, have your parties and, go out and have fun, but don't just, you'll get more out of college if you can remember your experience. Don't get so trashed every night that you're not studying. And because college, the grades actually do matter once you get to college, because you want to get a good job. If you want to go to graduate school, you're going to need really good grades, and you're going to need those extracurriculars. If you don't want to go to graduate school, you still need good grades so that not just because your future employer or whatever is going to see how well you did, but because you really want to be knowledgeable in your field of choice. You want to know what you're doing. So it's really, my advice is, obviously have fun. I'm not going to say not to have fun. It is college, and it's a time in your life where you get to be young and free and have fun without too many like real adult responsibilities, like the bills and the career, and if you eventually get married and have kids, and like it's kind of like you're an adult without being an adult, and it's really like the funnest thing in the world. But work hard, because I'm telling you, I worked my ass off in college, and I got more satisfaction out of that than I did my senior year of high school, where all I did was party and have fun with people. That was like the worst year of my life. So for me, college really was about the academics. Of course, it's also about the friendships, and um, you know, just my advice would be to get involved. Um, organize walks, do things for people, do volunteer work, you know, get involved in a sorority or fraternity if you can. Like mingle with people, even if you're really shy. And actually, I believe it or not, not anymore, but I used to be very shy. I went into my freshman year scared to death. I was probably the shyest person that you could ever come in contact with. I was very quiet, reserved, shy. But I forced myself to get involved in activities. I forced myself to mingle with friends. I forced myself to, instead of saying no to invitations, to saying, okay, I'll go. And it made my college experience that much better. And I encourage you all to, college, your freshman year is going to be, especially your freshman year, is going to be a lot of ups and downs. You're probably going to, find somebody that you want to date. You're probably going to deal with some drama. You're probably going to, you know, I dealt with a lot of things, especially my freshman year of college. I don't want to get into too many details, but I, was involved in a lot of like kind of dramatic things, with people, and it made it fun, but you also have to work hard, and you want to do well and you want to get the good grades, and you're going to feel good about yourself when you're getting good grades and when you're excelling at school. Your self-esteem is going to shoot up through the roof, and everyone's going to want to like kind of know how you did it. And so honestly, it's hard for me to even talk about college because I could even cry. Like I truly, 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 truly miss college. So you can even see my eyes are kind of welling up. That is how much I loved college, and that's why I kind of made this video, is because I do want to give you guys some advice and tips so that I want you guys to cry when you leave college because it's so wonderful. Um, they're really, if you take it in stride and really like, if you really make the most out of it, they're going to be the best 4 years of your life. You're going to have the friends right next door if you're living on campus, or if you're not, friends in your classrooms and activities. You're going to have so much fun figuring out like your identity, who you are, as an adult and what you want to do. You're going to find a major. You're going to take classes that you actually like. You're going to learn new things. You're going to be stimulated. Um, you're going to, fall in love with your campus. And of course, this experience does not happen to everybody, unfortunately. There's many people that hate college so much they just drop out or they transfer schools. If you don't like your school and it's after freshman year and you really hate it, like you can't bear it, transfer. Transfer now while you still are young enough that it won't be a big deal. Transfer now before you start, getting really deep into your major where, certain credits you're not going to take. Transfer. If you hate your school and there's no hope in it getting any better, transfer. Transfer now. Do it now before I don't want you guys to spend 3 or 4 years at a school that you freaking can't stand. It's important that you're happy where you are. It's important that you're happy. And you need to be happy. And even if that means transferring, I've known somebody who transferred schools 3 times and they finally met their match, found their match, I should say. So honestly, college, they could be the best years of your life, but you have to make the most out of it. You have to, um, you know, be open minded to new ideas, new activities. I turned from a really kind of conservative girl into kind of like a sort of a liberal young woman. I don't know what the hell I am anymore. My life is kind of up in the air right now. But the point is, I'm not saying like, I'm not trying to, this isn't about politics. What I'm saying is that you'll change. You'll change in college. And, some people, if they're really liberal minded, they become more conservative and vice versa. For me, it was the other way around. And that's good either way because you're learning new things and you're changing and you're growing and you're changing your opinions on things. And it's good. You really learn who you are, what you like, your preferences, what your beliefs are, what you really want to stand for in life. And there is not a better experience in the world than college. And I'm getting all teary eyed because there is not one single day that I don't want to be back. Even all all not bad stuff, even all the annoying stuff, like all the tests and work and projects and, dealing with difficult professors and, writing papers till 4 a.m. and going to class sick, not having time to do anything because I have this activity on Thursday, that activity on Monday. And I honestly wouldn't trade a single moment of it, even all the hard work and the angst, because they really were the best years of my life. And I, now that I'm 24 and away and kind of everything kind of, the dust has kind of settled. I really do miss having such close access to my friends, so much access to clubs and activities, and I really I miss the whole campus. I miss my campus. It was like my it's it becomes your home, and that was like my home for years. So it's hard. So before I get all like seriously teary eyed, I will say adieu, and I wish you guys a really good freshman year experience, and make the most of it. Be open minded. It's okay to be challenged. That's what college is about, and you know, even now, you're someday you're gonna miss the crappy cafeteria food and the buses to New York City or whatever city is closest to you. For me, it was New York. We would always go to the Met and things like that, and take trips, and you're gonna miss all the drama with boys or girls or friends, and you're gonna miss it because college will end. And for me, post grad life has been not an easy transition for me. So I wish you guys all lots of fun in college, and work hard, make the most of it, and you'll you'll do good. You'll do good. Okay, so I wish you the best, and I'll talk to you guys later.